Hello, comic book fans, and welcome to another edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host, as always, Cammy. Now, we don't have a pick of the week this week, so let's get right into the Fast Five. First up, from Marvel Entertainment, we have Secret Invasion number 5, the issue that has something finally happening. Past few issues have been taking place in the Savage Land. We kind of want to move on with that. Guess what? In Secret Invasion number 5 this week, we get a whole lot of story. First of all, Agent Brand of Sword, not Shield, but Sword and Shield, get it? Releases Mr. Fantastic from the Skrulls ship. Mr. Fantastic is like a bear, and you get between him and his bear cub, he gets vicious, and he figures out a way, he harnesses a machine to tell who's a Skrull, who's not a Skrull. And all those superheroes that crash landed onto the Savage Land, apparently they're all Skrulls. We all knew this, but now we finally have it, in stone, so we don't have to worry about, like, wait, is Mockingbird really a Skrull still? No, and Clint's pissed off because of it. But a very fun issue, finally, and hopefully it'll be nothing but more continuous action in the next 3 issues. Next up, from DC Comics, we have Action Comics 868, Part 3 of the Brainiac storyline. In this issue, we see Superman, strapped down to a table, wires in his brain. He's seeing the bottling process of the small cities that Brainiac's been doing for many, many years now. And he says, you know what, I don't want this to happen anymore. I want to put a stop to this. So he goes through a very Empire Strikes Back-esque scene where Brainiac's leading him throughout the places he wants him to go on this ship until he finally gets to the main control room. And he finally meets Superman face to face. And this is supposed to be the original Brainiac, not a copy like we've seen in the past, but the original guy. And he starts to beat the crap out of Superman. So that doesn't really look good for Superman, especially since Metropolis might be getting bottled up like Kandor in the next issue. Next up from IDW Publishing, we have Welcome to Hoxford number 1. Now, I just picked this book up on the whim because it was by Ben Templesmith, and I really liked his art on Fell and a couple of the 30 Days of Night issues. This one is equally fucked up. I don't know what happens to these artists or writers when they're younger to make them draw or write in this style, but it's very gruesome, very creepy, and yet I can't get enough of it. In Welcome to Hoxford, we follow Ray Delgado. He's a very big inmate, very abused as a child, throughout school, abusive life in the military, and he develops a biting habit where he'll just bite, making him kind of a killer later on when he bites too hard. Well, he's put into this prison with a bunch of other rapists, child molesters, cop killers, thugs, and everything seems okay because it's a new Russian maximum security prison until we find out that the warden and the guards might not be so human after all as they start to dine on a few of the missing inmates. What's going on? I'll have to find out next issue if they're vampires, zombies, monsters, etc. Next up from Marvel, we have Astonishing X-Men number 26. Now, I was never an X-Men fan. When Astonishing X-Men came along with John Cassaday and Joss Whedon, I all of a sudden had this great fond appreciation for the X-Men. Because, let's face it, out of all the X-Men titles going on, and a really new reader-friendly, Astonishing was probably it. I'm not saying the others were horrible, but I just don't follow them. So anyway, I've been a big fan of Joss and John's run. And then Warren Ellis and Simone Bianchi came along, and I was like, yes, because awesome art, awesome writer. Well, the past 2 issues, story-wise, hasn't been all that great. Sure, there's quips of dialogue between Armor and Wolverine that really make me smile because Armor's my new favorite. But the dialogue, witty, clever dialogue, can only hold me at bay for so long until I finally get a little frustrated on, okay, where's the story? So mainly, I'm picking up this book for the art because Simone Bianchi's art is nothing short from spectacular. Very smooth, precise, very detailed style that makes me wonder why isn't he on more books? He's doing covers for Batman and he's a Marvel exclusive for crying out loud. Give the guy more work. Don't let this talent go to waste, Marvel. And finally this week from DC Comics we have Green Lantern Corps number 27. Now in the previous issue we've seen Mongol not only lose an arm, but lose his life as well at the hands of the Black Mercy and the Green Lanterns. Turns out the guy's such a badass that he rips his way out of the Black Mercy's gullet flies off half digested with only one arm. He's not going to die anytime soon, I don't think. And we get a little flirtation between Kyle and Natu. Finally, a woman in Kyle's life, because Guy has ice. Kyle has no one. Kyle in the past has liked his women how he likes his coffee, grounded up in his freezer. Green Lantern joke. But very good series. Peter G. Tomasi has such an extensive cast to play with that it seems like we're introduced to a new Lantern every issue. And I want to be a Green Lantern. There, I said it. You have it. You have my confession on video. Well, that does it for Cammy's Comic Corner this week. If you want to be our friend, go to myspace.com/Cammy's Comic Corner. From there, you can click underneath that banner and subscribe to the RSS feed, or subscribe to us on iTunes. Or you can just go to youtube.com/Cammy's Comic Corner and subscribe to all the videos there, or just leave comments there as well. It's episode 42 now, but I'm just giving you a heads up. When episode 50 comes around, I have quite the big announcement to make, and quite the big contest. So, just my way of giving back to you loyal readers and those who want to have a little bit more interaction with Cammy's Comic Corner. Hopefully that's good hints. I'm not going to go into any more detail. This has been Cammy's Comic Corner. I've been your host, Cammy. I hope you all have a wonderful, magnificent, spectacular, amazing week.